Browsing and learning to use the internet is, yes, one of the easiest and funnest things to do today. A click here, another click there, and we can be anywhere. You can meet people from around the world. Hi! Read amazing stories and histories of the past. Ooh. And even have a glance of what may be seen in the future. But remember, using the internet without proper guidance and enough knowledge can also be one of the scariest we can ever imagine. Ooh! Imagine going on an online trip, seeing the beauty of the place, when suddenly, potential scams pop up and block your way. Scams? These are dishonest tricks used to deceive people. And we don't want that to happen to any of us. So, be your own hero online. Be internet alert. If it's too good to be true, then it's most likely fake. Fair exchanges shouldn't ask for your personal information. Always think twice or ask for the assistance of your parents and guardians before accessing a new site. Be on guard for possible phishing that will ask you to log in and give your important personal details. Whew! That was close. Good thing I am internet alert. Remember, any effort to steal your information may be a form of scam. So always trust your intuition and distinguish what's real and what's fake online. This has been your online hero, Ma'am Jennifer, reminding you to beware by being aware, keep your learning safe, and don't fall for fake.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gap where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Good day, everyone. I hope you are having an amazing day. This is Tutor Edson with Tutor Kevin, checking in once again for another episode of Safety and First Aid. Pero dahil nanganak ang misis ni Tutor Kevin, ako muna ang makakasama ninyo sa hapong ito. Congratulations, Tutor Kevin, at kay Ma'am, panalangin ko ang magandang kalusugan para kay baby at sa buong pamilya. Magandang hapon po at manigong bagong taon sa lahat ng ating mga learners at sa mga magulang at sa mga guro sa buong Pilipinas. Ayan. So, nais ko muna pong batiin ang aming punong guro mula sa Mawake High School, SDO Mabalacad City, Pampanga, Doc Babylin Manuel, sa mga guro ng Mawake Resettlement High School, at sa mga mag-aaral na bagong taon at bagong simula. Of course, siyempre, kailangan marami tayong pinagdaanan sa nakaraang taon. Ngayon naman ay handa na tayo sa pagbubukas ng taon para sa pag-aaral muli. Muli ako si Tutor Edson. Handa na ba kayo para sa Safety and First Aid? At ang topic natin for today sa Quarter 2, Week 6, topic natin ay Phases of Response to Disaster. Ayan. So our objectives, quarter 2, week 6, most essential learning competencies, recognizes the value of safety, injury prevention, and management in sports and exercise settings for prompt and proper response during emergencies. And of course, we have a specific objective to identify the disaster management phases, reduce damage and deaths, reduce personal suffering, speed recovery, and protect victims. But before that, of course, hindi natin 'to makakalimutan, no? So from quarter 2, week 5, meron tayong safety assignment, okay? So ang ating safety duty for this week at bagong taon, no? So congratulations kay John Pio Paulo Basa, grade 12 mula sa Holy Angel University, grade 12 St. Joseph the Dreamer. Ayan. So ito ang kanyang safety assignment. Ang sabi niya, Tutor Edson, Tutor Kevin. Ito po ang mapa namin sa aming community tuwing naglalaro po kami or may training sa basketball in case na may emergency na nangyari. Maraming clinic na maaaring pagdalahan sa mga kalaro namin, halos 1 kilometro lang ang pagitan ng clinic at hospital. Ayan, no? Ito ang kanyang safety assignment. Napakagaling ng ginawa mo, Pio. Congratulations, no? So kung mapapansin natin dito, kasi last time pinag-usapan natin yung mga uh, yung safety, yung mga emergency at saka yung mga clinic, yung response, okay, in case of emergency. Na pag-uusapan pa natin lalo ngayon mamaya, no? So ito yung ginawang assignment ni Pio, no? So ito yung kanyang bahay. So ito yung sabi niya Pio House. So ito, no, talaga may nakalagay pang legend, MRC Clinic. So may color coding pa siya. St. Raphael Hospital and Mabalacat, okay, and Mabalacat District Hospital. So dalawa ang hospital na malapit sa bahay ni Pio. So ito yung makikita natin, no? So doon sa bahay niya, malapit lang siya doon sa kanyang kung saan siya naglalaro. So malapit siya doon sa park, sa church, sa barangay hall nila. So ayan, no? Talagang pati yung MRC clinic. So in case of emergency, tabi lang talaga ng court 1 at saka court 2. Ito yung basketball court nila, no? Dito kasi makikita yung sa Mawakya kasi ito, no? So dito makikita yung kanilang yung basketball court, tapos yung volleyball court at kung saan sila naglalaro talaga. So in case of emergency at may nangyaring aksidente, ayan agad ang MRC clinic. So malapitan lang, talagang walking distance lang, no? So in case naman talaga na grabe yung nangyari doon sa manlalaro, doon sa pasyente, maaari sila doon sa araw kung mapapansin ninyo, no? Talagang diretso lang siya, 1 kilometro lang ang layo at nandoon ang St. Raphael Hospital. Ito ay private hospital at ang Mabalacat District Hospital, ito ay public hospital naman na makikita sa Mabalacat, Pampanga. So napakagaling ng ginawa mo, Pio. Congratulations. Ayan. So our topic is phases of response to disaster. So bago ang lahat, syempre, kailangan ko munang batiin. Ito, si Enrico Dalupan. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Enrico. Enrico from Manuel T. Dalupan. Okay, 17 years old. Ayan, no? Grade 11 STEM. A student from Virgin de las Flores High School. Ayan. Tapos kay Kervin Gabriel Villamor. Watching from Novaliches High School, SDO Quezon City, science teacher, Ma'am Luis Jane Cortezano. Hello po, ma'am. At kay Ma'am Romelis Tapang. Ayan. Ito kay Allison. Hello, Allison from CNHS SDO Mabalacat City. Advisor Sir Ronnie Peña. And kay Daphne Lapina, grade 12, St. Lorenzo Sarmiento Senior High School. Ayan. At kay Luis Carmela Eroles ng Mawake Resettlement High School, grade 9, Galileo. Ayan. Magandang hapon. At kay Ma'am Lot Villanueva. Magandang hapon po, ma'am. Ayan. So, our topic is all about phases of response to disaster. So, of course, we need to talk about the planning, the emergency, in case of emergency at kung ano pa ang maaaring mangyari, no? And we're talking about not only in school, in sports, as well as sa mga tahanan natin. So may kinalaman ito in terms of phases of response to disaster. But before that, meron tayong safety quiz for this quarter 2, week 6. Okay? So lahat pwedeng sumali, no? Paki-type lang ang sagot, okay, sa ating comment box sa mga kung sa mga sasagot sa atin. Ayan. So our safety quiz, yan. So number one. But before that, ayan, so games instruction. So magigame tayo, no? Submit your answer in 1 minute or less than in 1 minute. Get a pen and paper, identify the word described by each statement. Choices can be found on screen. No searching for answers online. So are you ready, learners? Ayan. So number one, taking sustained action to reduce or eliminate long-term risks to people and property from hazard and their effects. A. Emergency. B. Mitigation. C. Preparedness. D. Recovery. So I'll give you 1 minute, okay? Or less than 1 minute to answer these questions. So bago ang lahat, syempre habang sinasagutan natin ang number one, magandang hapon sa aming program head, kay Sir Tony, kay Sir Antonio, Maipa. Ayan. So may sumagot na. Okay? Sabi ni Kervin, Gabriel, number one is C, sabi niya. So, tignan natin kung tama ang sagot ni Kervin. Okay? The answer is, ayan, B, mitigation. Okay? Next. For number two, so for Kervin, okay, syempre, sagot lang tayo ng sagot. Syempre, go lang ng go. Ayan. So number two, building the emergency management of function to respond effectively to and recover from any hazard. A. Preparedness. B. Mitigation. C. Recovery. D. Response. Okay? Timer starts now for 1 minute. Okay, tama ang sagot ni Luis. Kanina sa number one, Luis Carmela, medyo naglalag lang tayo, no? So, good afternoon din sa ating isa sa mga masugid din na manunood at talagang napaka-supportive na program head ng YUMS. Hello, Ma'am Aileen Maglangke. Good afternoon. Happy New Year! Okay, for number two, ang sagot ay building the emergency management function to respond effectively to and recover any hazard. So, may sumagot na ba for number two? Ayan. So, i-type lang ang mga sagot. Okay. The correct answer is preparedness. A. Congratulations, Kerbin. Ayan. For number three, a situation that possesses an immediate risk to health, life, property, or environment. A. Response. B. Mitigation. C. Preparedness. D. Emergency. Okay, you can answer now for 1 minute. Time start now. Ayan. Okay, ito medyo late lang ang sagot ni na Allison Yambao, correct? Okay. Letter A kanina for number 2, no? Okay, for number 3, may sumagot na. Ayan, si Annette Dingal. Ayan, tsaka si Allison. Napakabilis sumagot ni Allison, no? So, tingnan natin kung tama ang sagot nila. Answer daw is the emergency. Okay, correct. Emergency. For number 4, defined as the action taken to decrease mortality and morbidity and to prevent further property damage when the hazard occurs. Response is putting preparedness plans into action. A. Response. B. Mitigation. C. Preparedness. D. Emergency. Time start now. Okay, for 1 minute. So habang sumasagot sila, eto, hello to April Angela. Happy New Year, Tutor Eds, and Happy New Year, Angela. From Mawakira Settlement High School, 10 Newton, SDO, Mabalacat City. Hello. Ayan, hello sa gusto nyo i-greet, sabi niya, no? So siguro, ano sa dito, no? Talagang napaka, ano nito, siguro, nag-ano sila sa mga GC nila para doon sa ano. Ayan. So, ang sagot ni Annette is response. Okay, ang sagot ni ayan, so medyo late yung iba, si Kervin is Aiden, no? So, the correct answer is okay, si Jenny Ignacio ang sagot niya is response. Tignan natin kung tama. Correct. The answer is response. And last, for number 5, rebuilding communities so that individuals, businesses, and governments can function on their own, return to normal life, and protect against future hazards. A. Response. B. Mitigation. C. Recovery. D. Emergency. So I'll give you 1 minute to answer. Paki-type lang po ang answer. Ayan. So ang bilis sumagot naman ni Kirvin. Ayan. Ayan. Hello to Micaela Ashley of Mawakere Settlement High School. Ayan, hello to Alexa Miklat, watching from CNHS SDO Mabalacat City, Advisor Sir Ronnie Peña. Hello Sir Ronnie Peña, talaga naman napaka-supportive ng ating city teacher, no, na si Sir Ronnie Peña from Camacholes National High School. So the correct answer is C. Recovery. Good job sa lahat ng ating mga estudyante na sumagot at sa mga hindi nakasagot, next time pwede tayong sumali. Ayan. So our topic is all about emergency activities, and these emergency activities or the phases are divided into four that form a cycle. Of course, number one is mitigation phase. So mitigation is the initial phase of emergency management and should be considered before a disaster or emergency occurs, taking continued action to decrease or eliminate long-term risks to people and property from hazard and their effects. Okay, so what are the goals of mitigation phase? Of course, number one, protect people and structures, reduce the cost and response and recovery. With this mitigation phase, alam nyo ba na before talaga na magkakaroon ng activity, especially in sports like intrams or other na big event in terms of sports, or kahit saan naman pagdating sa bahay, no, kaya nga meron tayong tawag dito NERRM, at saka meron tayong kailangan muna talagang i-check, okay, kung okay ba yung not only the facilities but also the environment. Okay, so napaka importante na i-check ito para masiguro na pag nag games na, siguradong ligtas yung mga athletes natin pag nagkaroon ng in case of disaster. Hindi kasi natin may iwasan na during games aksidente lang mangyayari, may masasaktan pag may naglalaro, no? Maaari din ito yung kasama sa environment natin, like pwedeng magkaroon ng earthquake or magkasunog. So kailangan alam na ito, no, na check na kung ano yung mga pwedeng mangyari. That's why napaka-importante ng four phases, especially the mitigation, okay? Kaya that's why we need to check talaga muna lahat, not only the facilities, also not only the facilities, pati yung pati yung environment. Ayan, at yung mga tao na magpapacilitate. Okay, so mitigation is accomplished in conjunction with hazard analysis, which helps to identify, sabi ko nga kanina, what events can occur in and around the community. Okay, the likelihood that an event will occur, the consequence of the event in terms of casualties, destruction, disruption to critical services, and cost of recovery. So napaka-importante para maiwasan natin yung mga yung may masaktan or yung may masira, talagang dapat napaghahandaan natin to. Alam natin or may plano talaga kung ano yung mga possible na mangyayari, okay? To be successful mitigation measures must be developed into an overall mitigation strategy that can consider ways to reduce hazard and losses together with the overall risk from specific hazard and other community goals. Mitigation measures can be developed and implemented at the local or state level. So sa atin, syempre, not only in our community, syempre, we need to ask also the help of our LGU or local government unit natin, no? Napaka-importante nito. Of course, nandiyan naman sila para mag-assist, but as much as possible, alam natin kung paano sila makokontak at kung paano tayo magre-relay sa mga possible na pwede mangyari, especially pag may mga event tayo, okay? Sa lahat ng activity natin sa school, especially sa games, okay? Pwede tayo makipag-coordinate sa LGU. Ayan. So next one is preparedness phase. So building an emergency management function to respond effectively to and recover from any hazard. Sabi nga, ito, pangalawa to, no? So kailangan ready tayo. But in terms of preparedness phase, there are essential elements. You need to plan, okay? Planning. In terms of planning, ano yung mga gagamitin natin sa activity natin sa sports or sa community natin, and then may mga emergency kits ba na available, at meron ba ng mga personnel na emergency personnel na pwedeng mag-response agad sa atin. But this personnel, kailangan may proper training sila, okay? And of course, dapat they undergo also the tabletop disaster drills. Kaya nga there are times sa school natin, di ba, noong face to face, ang nangyayari is talaga nga namang, ay, nawala ako. Ayan, nawawala yata ako. Ayan, nawala ba ako? Hindi na ba ako? Huminto ba ako? Ayan, check ko muna ha kung nawala ako. Ayan, check ko muna, naka-live pa rin ba ako? Ayan. So, biglang namatay kasi yung aking ano, ayan. So, sandali lang ha, may mga comments. So, ito naman. Ayun. So, thank you Sir Rainier. Akala ko kasi nawala ako. Ayan, sorry, sorry, sorry. So, akala ko nawawala ako. So, ayun, medyo naputol yung ano, no? So, diretso lang kasi ako doon sa ano ko. So, preparedness phase, of course, sabi ko nga kanina, we need to plan, and then, of course, meron tayong mga training personnel, at of course, we need to undergo disaster drills. That's why during face-to-face, sabi ko nga kanina, no? Ang school, okay, with the help of the LGU at ng NDRRM natin talaga. Meron tayong mga drills na ginagawa like yung earthquake drill, tapos yung fire drill, okay? So in case of evacuation, ginagawa pa rin natin 'yan, no? So nagdi-drill tayo sa school. So sa sports din, kailangan din natin alam din 'yon, no? So yung sa event center or yung sa ano natin mismo sa center na yon, alam natin kung saan tayo pupunta, yung exit, yung mga emergency kits natin, yung mga emergency personnel, at saka yung kung ano yung mga dapat gawin natin, dapat kompleto yan. That's why under siya sa preparedness phase. Ayan. So the next one, ang pangatlo natin is response phase. Okay? Conducting emergency operation to save lives, property by taking action to reduce the hazard to acceptable levels, or eliminate entirely, evacuating potential victims, okay, providing food, water, shelter, and medical care to those in need, okay, restoring critical public services, okay. So ibig sabihin nito in terms of response space, for example, there are ongoing ang ating activity sa sports, okay? Tapos nagkaroon ng earthquake, okay? Siyempre, sa labas niyan, may mga community din na madadamay, no? So dapat with this area kung saan natin nagaganap yung sports natin, no, meron tayo dapat naka-ready hindi lang yung mga emergency kits, okay? But also dapat meron tayong evacuation center, okay? Meron dapat din yung mga foods, okay? Meron tayong water, ito yung mga importante, no? Tsaka yung mga medical kit natin. Kasi it doesn't mean na sports lang, nagkakaroon lang ng aksidente, but sabi ko nga kanina, maaari tayong magkaroon ng ibang incident na maaaring makasakit sa mga athletes natin. And also with the community, kaya napaka-importante nitong response phase para maintindihan din ng ating mga learners, not only the learners but also the teacher, na hindi lang nangyayari ito sa sports, pwede rin mangyari ito sa bahay natin, sa school, okay? Or kung nasaan man tayo. So napaka-importante ng 4 phases na ito. Ayan. So this one, it responds encompasses all activities taken to save lives, reduce damage from the event, and includes, sabi nga, providing emergency assistance to victim. Kaya nga, if there are activities tayong ginagawa, meron tayong event talaga, meron tayong ina-assist tayo ng mga LGU natin, okay? We can ask also yung mga ang barangay community natin, no? Ang mga counselor natin dito at yung mga iba nating yung mga SK pwede rin silang tumulong, no? Pag may activity tayo sa community at saka sa school, okay? Para dito sa response phase natin, pwede natin gamitin yung kung anong meron tayo sa ating barangay or sa community natin. Ayan. So, ensuring continuity of critical service. Ayan. Ayan, no? So in other words, response involved putting preparedness plans into action. One of the first response tasks is to conduct a situation assessment. Local government is responsible for emergency response and for continued assessments of its ability to protect its citizens and the property within the community. To fulfill this responsibility, responders and local government officials must conduct an immediate rapid assessments of the local situation. Yes, kailangan 'to 'no, kahit sa school natin at sa mga event natin every now and then once na may nangyari na incident, okay, dapat we need to assess at maging ready tayo, follow kasi para alam natin yung gagawin natin 'pag nagkaroon tayo ng susunod na activity at because dahil meron tayong experience, not only with the experience dapat talagang ready tayo 'no. Kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, dahil may experience na tayo dapat ina-assess natin saan tayo nagkulang, ano yung mga kailangan pang idagdag at ano pa yung mga dapat gawin. Ayan, para mabilis ang ating response phase. Ayan. So, here sabi niya, prioritize response activities, allocate scarce resources, request additional assistance from the mutual aid partners as well as the state quickly and accurately. Sabi ko kanina, we can ask assistance sa ating barangay, no, sa mga community natin. But sabi nga, kung pwede tayo mag-ask ng assistance also sa mga companies, okay? Kasi there are companies na talagang tumutulong din in terms sa mga ganitong sitwasyon, no? Nagbibigay din sila ng mga emergency kits, yung mga ganyan. So we can ask also some clinics and hospital, okay? Pwede tayong i-assist in terms of magkakaroon man tayo ng activities and events in terms of sports or sa school or sa community natin. Ayan. So here, ayan, no? So, ayan, ayun, thank you Carmela at saka kay Lian Rivera ng Mawake High School. And thank you uli kay Sir Tutor Rainier. Happy birthday pala, Tutor Rainier. Ayan. So, wish ko ang good health for you and for your whole family. Ayan. So, continue tayo. So the response activities includes number one, search and rescue. Ayan. Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, in case of emergency na magkakaroon man, hindi lang doon sa sports or nagkakaroon ng games, naglalaro sila tapos biglang may na-aksidente, no? But sabi ko nga, pwedeng magkaroon ng disaster, magkaroon ng earthquake, okay? Tawag dito, biglang may pumutok ang bulkan, or anything na pwedeng mangyari about sa environment natin. So dapat nakahanda ang ating mga rescue team, okay? At alam nila yung mga possible na pupuntahan nila kasi itong mga ano natin na personnel no na-train sila, dapat na-train nga sila, na-train sila at alam nila kung saan yung mas maraming tao at kung saan merong aksidente at maaaring magkaroon ng aksidente, okay? In terms na magkaroon man ng lindol or ng sunog, okay? Kasi yun yung dapat nilang unang i-search, okay? At saka i-rescue kung saan yung maraming tao. And then, followed yung doon sa environment nila kung meron man na may mga tao man doon sa paligid niya. Okay? So, acute triage, kailangan din yan. Acute medical care, firefighting, o yan, napaka-importante yan. Especially nung nagdaang taon, no? So, nung ilang, ano lang, noong 31 and 1, marami pa rin fireworks, putukan hanggang ngayon, meron pa rin, no? Dapat, dito sa Mabalacat, abang nagbibisikleta ako sa mga nakaraang araw, talagang ang fire, ano natin, fire team, talagang nakatutok sila sa bawat tawag dito, bawat barangay kasi paglabas ko doon sa highway namin no, as in talagang merong tatlo bawat barangay kasi napakahaba ng highway namin. Pero yung parang pinaka tatlong tawag dito, kanto na malalaki na papasok sa mga barangay talaga. May mga naka-stop na fire truck, ayan. So sana tuloy-tuloy 'yan 'no, kahit na hindi New Year, pero alam ko ready talaga ang mga ano natin fire team 'no, ayan. So, sheltering victims, so importante ito. Madalas 'pag nagkakaroon ng, earthquake 'no, especially doon sa mga, natatamaan na mga biktima, okay, madalas ang school ang ginagawang, shelter, okay, para doon sa mga biktima, okay, in terms of nagkaroon ng sunog or nagkaroon ng earthquake, okay? So here, another relocating medical records. So napaka-importante din 'yan. Ayan, so recovery phase, eto okay. Eto na yung last natin. But before that, ayan, magandang hapon kay Lee at saka kay Donna ng CNHS SDO Mabalacat. Ayan. Talagang napaka-supportive nila, no? So, rebuilding communities so that individual businesses and governments can function on their own, return to normal life, and protect against future hazard. So, ito yung pang-apat. So, dapat meron din tayo, kasi kailangan pag napagdaanan natin yung tatlo, dapat mabilis din ang recovery phase. Kasi pag hindi tayo mabilis sa recovery phase, ang mangyayari niyan is marami pa rin matatamaan like yung nga business, no? And also yung games natin or yung ano, pag hindi nagawa yung mismong dome natin or yung sports area natin, of course there are activities na hindi natin maipagpapatuloy as well in our community. Pag nasiraan or nasunugan tayo, dapat mabilis din ang recovery phase with the help of our LGU, no? Mabilis din dapat ito. At tulong-tulong, hindi lang tayo basta umaasa sa ating mga LGU, but also, kaya nga may tinatawag tayong bayanihan. Pag Pilipino, talagang bayanihan tayo, no? So, sa recovery phase, tulong-tulong tayo dapat. Kasi dito yung part na kailangan sabay-sabay tayong umahon kahit na nagkaroon ng problema or disaster, kailangan harapin natin ito. Wag tayong mag-overthink or malungkot. May dahilan bakit nangyari ito. As much as possible, doon sa recovery phase, tulong-tulong tayo. Ayan. So the recovery phase, the goal of the recovery phase, that's why it's part of this ano no, talagang part siya no, is to return the community system and activities to normal na mabilisan, okay? Naalala ko yung recovery phase nung nagkaroon ng tsunami sa Japan, okay? So as in talagang isang buwan lang nakabalik na sila, as in ang bilis ng ah tawag dito, isang buwan or dalawang buwan or tatlo 'no, pero yung part na isang buwan talagang naayos na yung isang community at nakabalik na sila doon sa nalinis yung daanan nila. Kasi tulong-tulong sila, hindi lang yung government 'no, but yung mga tao sa Japan talagang, tumutulong sila. As well yung napanood ko sa isang, tawag dito, balita sa Japan nung nagkaroon ng earthquake, yung nag-crack yung daanan, may nasirang mga building. Tapos in just 8 hours na nagawa nila na tapusin 'yon 'no, talagang natambakan nila yung lupa na bumuka, tapos nasementohan nila. So gano'n kabilis yung recovery phase doon sa Japan. But sabi ko nga, ang Pilipinas mabilis din naman, basta tulong-tulong tayo. At of course, siyempre pag-uusapan, hindi lang kasi basta-basta tayo mag-aayos, okay? Kasi kailangan pa rin i-check yung environment kung kailangan na bang ayusin ito. Of course, kasunod dito yung budget. Ayan. So, this one, sabi nga nila, ang goal ng recovery phase is repairing buildings, replacing homes, ayan, kung nasunugan man sila or nasira during earthquake or may ibang incident na nangyari, ganun din sa sports at sa school. So, dapat mabilis tayo in terms of recovery phase. So, this is the 4 phases of disaster. Review tayo. So number one, mitigation, also known as the prevention phase, aims to reduce the negative consequence of disaster or decrease the probability of it happening. Number two, Preparation phase. This aim to plan, train, and educate for events that cannot be prevented. Ito, no, ulitin ko, medyo balikan lang natin ng konti. Sa mga estudyante natin, of course, sa senior high school, natuturo na to, no? So, kailangan natin ma-educate talaga, maturuan sila, okay? Yung part by part, okay? Para alam natin yung mga gagawin nating aksyon, okay? So, hindi lang basta tayo na-discuss ito, dapat also we need an action talaga na gagawin para dito. So ayan. So yung response phase, this aims to decrease morbidity, mortality, and property damage after a disaster has happened. Okay? Then recovery phase, this aim to return to normal after a disaster. Ayan. So for our safety assignment, ayan, no? But before that, ayan, ito meron munang tanong, sabi ni Kervin, nagiging evacuation center po ang mga school po sa bawat calamity po sa isang community. Oo, anak, okay. There are time talaga na nangyayari ito, especially doon sa mga tawag dito, maliliit na community na talaga naman tawag dito, maliliit din yung matahanan nila, talagang agad na nasisira. So, napaka-importante din, okay, isa talaga ang school sa nagiging evacuation at talaga namang pumapayag naman ang school heads. Pero siyempre i-check muna, hindi basta-basta nalagya ano. Pero kung walang-wala na talaga, ito yung isa sa mga nagiging evacuation center natin. Naalala ko, Kerbin, no, noong pumutok ang Bulkang Pinatubo dito sa Pampanga, noong nagkaroon ng talagang umulan, ng bato, tapos may lahar, no? Talagang lahat ng tao noon sa Angeles, sa Pampanga, sa Angeles City kasi kami, no? Even sa Mabalacat, talagang naglakad kami ng ilang kilometro palayo talaga, okay, sa mga ilog, okay? Kasi talagang yung mga ilog lumalaki, no? So ito biglaan ito yung pagsabog ng Bulkang Pinatubo. So ang nangyari is talagang nung naglakad na kami, wala kaming mapuntahan na evacuation center kasi dito sa Angeles City, even sa school, talagang nasira, okay? Lalo na doon sa Bacolor at saka sa Porac. Alam mo ba, anak, na nung umulan ng abo, sabi nga 'no, talagang natabunan ang mga eskuwelahan, ang simbahan. Tapos dito naman sa Angeles City talaga is talagang dahil may mga bato, nasira yung mga tahanan talaga. Tapos yung malalapit sa ilog sa amin talagang kinuha, okay, okay, tawag dito, yung tubig, natibag yung lupa, so tapos malakas pa yung agos ng tubig dahil umuulan nun, talagang ang nangyari is nasira yung mga bahay. So ang choice talaga namin is talagang lumikas ng lugar. Hindi kami maaaring pumunta sa mga school. Sabi ko nga kanina, hindi basta-basta na pupunta tayo sa school para maging evacuation center ito. Maaari kasi na ito pala yung area na tatamaan din. So kailangan lumikas talaga, no? So may mga ano tayo diyan, may kaya nga sabi ko nga, nung last time na discussion natin 'no, once na nagkaroon ng disaster, lagi tayong makikinig sa radyo or sa telebisyon, okay? Pero ngayon dahil technology na, so meron na tayong cellphone, no? May internet, kung talagang wala ng internet, may data connection, tignan natin yung mga possible na nangyayari sa paligid natin, makinig tayo sa balita, manood tayo ng balita. And then, what will happen now is, alam natin kung saan tayo pupunta. Kasi nung time na yon talagang radyo lang yung naging ano namin, basihan pagdating doon sa nangyayari sa environment namin during Pinatubo eruption, no? So, ang nangyari noon, lumikas pa kami papuntang Magalang, Concepcion pa. Ang layo, okay? Ang layo talaga ng nilakad namin. Nakakalungkot na nangyari yon, pero dapat sabi ko nga, eto napakaganda 'tong topic natin ito dahil napapanood 'to 'no, para maging handa tayo in case of emergency, ayan. So here, safety assignment, ayan. So medyo ano lang ha. Ayan. So, emergency response. Make a corner note by writing the emergency local hotlines in your community, like clinic, hospital, police station, fire rescue station, etc. for a quick response in case of emergency. So gawa tayo ng corner note at ilagay natin doon lahat ng local hotlines natin, emergency local hotlines, okay? You may post your output on the DepEd ETUlay official Facebook group. Ayan. So these are the sample emergency contact numbers. Ayan. So for our references, eto po siya. Ayan. And then, of course, don't forget to watch at saka hindi lang tayo to watch, no? Talagang makinig at marami tayong matututunan sa hashtag Team Mahusay, Senior High School Science and Technology. Ayan, first semester, patapos na tayo, no? So mula Lunes, mula 3:40 ng hapon hanggang 5:20 ng hapon. Okay, mapapanood tayo Facebook Live sa DepEd EdTech Unit. Ayan, at ang susunod naman, ang Earth and Life Science, General Chemistry, Biology, and Media and Information Literacy. And for your feedbacks matters to us, of course, no? We oftenly welcome your feedback, comments, complaints, and suggestions and concerns about what we are doing well and what you think that we could do better. So, eto na. Ayan. So, bago ang lahat, so, nais ko munang magpasalamat sa aming program head, sa aming director, si Direk Earl, kay Sir Tony. Maraming salamat po. So, I hope you enjoyed today's episodes of Safety and First Aid about the disaster mitigation and management. Actually, it's more on phases, okay? But before we end, I want to remind you of something. Always make a plan because as the saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. We always believe that life is inviolable, life is very important. Always keep in mind and heart that safety is our main priority. Remember ABC. Always be alert, be brave, and be cautious. This is Tutor Edson from SDO Mabalacat City with Tutor Kevin, and this is Safety and First Aid. See you soon. Paalam!
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETUlay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!